following is a video over 0.7 notes, and this is ordered pairs and graphing. This is a crucial aspect of geometry, as we'll be doing a lot of this. And what it's asking us to do in example 1 is to write the ordered pair for each point. So what I want to first talk about real quick is that this is, the coordinate axis. This is the x-axis, the y-axis. X is positive. If we're here, this is the origin. This is 0, 0. And y is positive here. X is negative if you go to the left of the origin, and y is negative when you go to the left of the origin. Okay, this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. And this is quadrant quattro. And for those of you that don't know, quattro is 4 in Spanish. Okay, so I want to talk about just how we're going to name these. At point A, if I'm going to count this or determine the location of where this is, I'm going to start at my origin and I'm going to move to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 units and down 1. So that's the point 4, comma, negative 1. Okay, this is my x value and this is my y value, and that's the location on the graph. Okay, for point B, I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go to the left. So I'm going to go over 1, 2. So my x value is negative 2, and then I don't move on my y-axis, so that's just going to be 0. So that's the point negative 2, 0. Okay? All right, let's take a look at example 2. Graph and label each point on the coordinate plane, and name the quadrant in which each point is located. So I've got point G, which is at 2, 1. So I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to go over 1, 2, and then I'm going to go up 1. I'm going to plot my point there, and I'm going to call that point G. And that's in the first quadrant. Okay, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Okay, or quadrant quattro, if you will. So then part B, point H is at the point negative 4, 3. So I'm going to go over 4. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go up 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to call that point H. Okay. And then we get point J, and that's the point, that's in quadrant 2, by the way. And then point J is the point 0, negative 3. So if I start at my origin, I go 0. I don't go anywhere on the x-axis. I stay on this line. I'm going to go down 3. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to plot that as point J. Now that one's not, it's in neither. It's not in you could say it's in both quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Okay, but it's not in quadrant 1 or 2. So, all right, take a look at the next example. It says graph a polygon with these vertices. Okay, so I'm going to plot these points. I'm going to plot the point negative 3, 3. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, go up 1, 2, 3. That's point A. Okay. Point B is at the point 1, 3. So I'm going to go up over 1 and then up 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's point B. Okay, point C is the point 0, 1. Okay, that's point C. And then D is negative 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1. Okay, and that's point D. All right, I'm going to connect those however they're written. So because it goes in the order of A, B, C, and D, I'm going to connect A to B. I'm going to connect B to C. C to D, and then I'm going to connect the last point with the first point, okay? And so we actually have this polygon. A polygon is a many-sided figure, and that just means, and we're going to do this quite a bit, okay? All right, example 4, okay? Graph the following, graph 4 points that satisfy the equation, y equals 4 minus x. Okay, there's a number of ways to do this. If you're pretty confident in your methods of knowing how these graphs work, we can say that I know that my y-intercept. So if this is the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, m is equal to my slope. B is equal to my y-intercept, and I know that my y-intercept is 4. Okay, so I'm going to plot a point here at 4. And then I have a slope of -1. So B is equal to 4, M equals -1. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay? And those are 4 points, or I think 5, that are on this line. Now, one thing I can do is I can make an XY table with this. Okay? And I can choose the points like 0, 1, 2, and 3. And if I plug those into the equation, then I get, if I plug in 0, I get y equals 4 minus 0. So then I get that y is equal to 0. So I have the point, I'm sorry, 4. So I have the point 0, 4. Sorry, I'm making mistakes here. All right, 0, 4. If I plug in 1 into this, I get y is equal to 4 minus 1, which gives me 3. And that's the point 1, 3, okay? So I have the point 0, 4 that's on the graph. I have the point 1, 3 that's on the graph. If I plug in 2, okay, 4 minus 2, I'm going to get 2. So I have the point 2, 2. So that's the point here. I go over 2, up 2, I have a point right there at 2, 2. Okay, if I plugged in 3, y equals 4 minus 3. That gives me 1. Okay, so I have the point 3, comma 1. All right, so that's one way of doing it. If you know how to graph lines, then that's easy to do too. So this should be a review for you. This is something that you guys all know coming in, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry that I made so many mistakes, but I'm not perfect, but sometimes math is perfect.